Welcome back to Rockstock Channel. It is Tuesday, May 6th. Happy belated Cinco de Mayo to all who celebrate, and also may the 4th be with you for all our Star Wars fans. Today, we are back with an update with Gabriel Rubacha, CEO of Noa Lithium Brines. As a reminder, Noa Lithium has 3 projects under exploration and development in Argentina, the flagship of which is Rio Grande, which was drilled last year to a large 4.7 million tons and a high-grade 525 milligrams per liter maiden resource. I've known Gabriel more than 7 years since he was on the board of Lithium Americas and held an operating role as CEO of the Minera XR JV with Ganfeng. Minera XR, 45% owned by what is now called Lithium Argentina, is now near nameplate 40,000 tons production at the Cauchari-Olaroz salar in Argentina. RK Equity was a strategic advisor to and investor in Lithium Americas from its early days. A quick shout out to flag our latest Lithium Bull published today, the lead article of which discusses my thoughts on Lithium Americas making a final investment decision for its Thacker Pass project last month. You could find this issue on my LinkedIn profile, on X at Lithium Ion Bull, and if you're not already on the email list for this publication, please visit rkequity.com and register your email. As with LAC in the early days, RK Equity is both a strategic advisor to and holds equity interests in Noa Lithium Brines. But we are not, of course, financial advisors, and nothing in this video should be considered investment advice. Please do your own research and read the disclaimer at the end of this video. Of all the lithium types and geographies, sentiment toward salar brines and toward Argentina are quite bullish. It's worth reminding that Rio Tinto is betting $10 billion on the commodity and the country through its $6.7 billion purchase of Arcadium and its $2.5 billion final investment decision at Rincon. Salar brines are generally lower cost, especially for carbonate, which is the key chemical for LFP battery chemistries. Argentina, under libertarian Milei, is undergoing a major economic transformation. At 525 milligrams per liter, NOAA's flagship Rio Grande project is sufficiently high grade for conventional evaporation ponds. In other words, NOAA should not have to rely on direct lithium extraction technology. Looking at the RK Equity scoreboard, Noa Lithium trades on the Toronto Venture Exchange, ticker symbol NOAL. Unlike most lithium stocks this year, Noa's stock price is up 58% year to date, currently 41 Canadian cents, and has a market cap of 94 million Canadian dollars, or about 68 million US dollars. Noa has a tight share register with 24% held by founders and management and 35% held by Clean Elements, in a family office investor group which injected 13.5 million Canadian dollars into Noa last December at a price of 17 cents. In case you missed it, check out our March interview with Gabriel and Noa to hear also from Clean Elements principal Ofer Amir. Over the past 15 years, lithium's booms and busts, many Canadian-listed Argentine developers have richly rewarded their shareholders. As a reminder, Ganfeng partnered with Lithium Americas, which later bought Millennial Lithium for $400 million. Neo Lithium was acquired for $770 million by Zijin. Lithium X was acquired for $265 million by NextView Energy, to name a few. We see similar potential over the medium term for Noa to replicate the success of these and other Argentina exploration companies. And with that, welcome, Gabriel, back to Rockstock Channel, and we look forward to hearing an update. Rodney will lead the questioning.
Gabriel, if you can, please just recap the main projects and the locations, of the Noa Lithium main interest for our audience.
Sure. We got in total approximately 140,000 hectares of mining properties, all located in the province of Salta. which is probably the friendliest jurisdiction, not just in Argentina, but in the region. And we got, out of these 140,000 hectares, we got three projects. Our flagship project is Rio Grande, on which we got 37,000 hectares. This is where we have focused all our attention in the last 2 years, where we drill. And Howard said we got 4.7 million tons LCE at 525 milligrams per liter. This is our flagship and where we focus all our capital in the last 2 years. Then we got Arizaro, that it's Arizaro is the largest salar in Argentina. We got close to 80,000 hectares. We performed some geophysics there. We know that we got brines and these our properties. We are our properties on the east side of the salar. We are confident that we got a lot of potential there, but and there we look for potential partner. We announced last year that we were looking for a partner. And the third one is Salinas Grandes. Salinas is a salar that is shared between two provinces, Salta and Jujuy. All our properties are on the Salta side. And we got approximately 10,000 hectares. And Salinas Grandes, one of the advantages, I would say, of Salinas Grandes is pretty close to San Antonio Los Cobres, which is a town with a lot of infrastructure. So it's going to be much easier for its development. Also, it's closer to the capital city of the province of Salta. And based on the exploration done in the past, there is a strong indication that the concentration in Salinas Grandes may be in the range of 500 to 1,000 milligrams per liter, with a very good chemistry in terms of lowering contaminants. So this is something that we got it uh, for its development right after Rio Grande.
And Gabriel, you've got some prominent regional neighbors. Can you outline some of the operators in your area?
Yeah, I mean, right where we are, we share our Rio Grande. In particular, we share the salar with the Litica, which is a company fully owned by Plus Petrol, which is an oil and gas company, private oil and gas company from Argentina that is developing Rio Grande. In the past, they sold Pastor Grandes to Ganfen for close to $1 billion. But they got a lot of interest in the development of Rio Grande because they see a lot of potential there. Also, pretty close to us is Ganfen. They are finalizing the construction of a Mariana project. Mariana project is, I would say, less than 20 kilometers from Rio Grande. Arizaro is also pretty close to where we are, 50 kilometers or a little bit more than that, but pretty close to where we are. And in Arizaro, there are many companies already developing exploration there. You got Eramet, you got Hanak, you got Lithium Chile. There's a lot of companies there. But regionally, in Salta, you got now Rio Tinto, that it's not only with the acquisition of recent acquisition of Vulcan, but all in its Rincon project that they got a lot of activity in the province of Salta. So Ganfen, I would say the main players that I say that are got activity in Salta are Rio Tinto, Ganfen, Lithium Americas, Lithium Argentina now, not Lithium Americas, and are the big players right now in Salta. But there are many, many companies having activity in Salta. Not to mention POSCO that is starting up its operation, and Eramet that also is in ramping up its plant.
And Gabriel, given that there are companies operating successfully in the region, how responsive and supportive is the local government in Salta?
Salta, I mean, the three provinces that got lithium, or at least got the most of the lithium in Argentina, are Jujuy, Catamarca, and Salta. I would say that Salta, it's probably the most responsive in terms of how to deal with the permitting, and the how to do business. Um, and with that, I would include not just the government, but also services. Salta got many more companies, service providers that Jujuy and Catamarca. So when they encourage the use of local services, is something that you can have the companies that you can use from Salta, which is not gonna be exactly the same in other provinces. So you can have engineering companies, construction companies, drilling companies. Um, so you get a lot of support, not just from the government, but the services providers in Salta that make your life easier for development of projects.
Yeah, that's a great point to lead on to the next question, which is that you've mobilized the drilling contractor for water exploration at Rio Grande.
Yeah.
How is that progressing, and can you elaborate on the importance of that campaign?
Yeah, the drilling contractor is already at site. Is progressing. We expect to get the results during the current month. Um, and we are drilling in northern part of our properties, and so it's very important, as you know, that having we identified three areas of potential industrial water for use for process. Um, so this is very important going forward, especially now that we are in the development of the PEA. We are confident that the results are going to be good. It's just a matter of confirming that the volume of water that we can get. Um, but this is going to be very important and confirm not just the volume of brine that we got, but also that within our properties we got industrial water or uh, that we can use for process going forward.
And you've appointed Hatch to lead your PEA on the Rio Grande project. You're looking at initial production of 20,000 tons per annum with scalability to 40,000. What are the major milestones that you need to complete for the PEA, and what's the likely timing of the releasing of those results?
Our schedule is for 4 months to get a report that leads to get completion of the work early in third quarter of this year. Approximately during August, we expect to get the result from Hatch. Um, and as you well said, our idea is to get a first stage of 20,000, second stage of another 20,000. With the resource that we got, well, we believe that pretty confident that this is something reasonable and even conservative that can be done. Also, the first stage for sure is going to be based on evaporation. Second stage is going to be as well evaporation with the flexibility or at least some sensitivity analysis using DLE. And also there's going to be a sensitivity analysis on sense or using DLE. But again, our base case is all based on evaporation in order to de-risk the development of our project. But we expect to get the results during Q3 for sure.
Okay, great. And the average grade at Rio Grande is high, as I had mentioned earlier, and that likely means traditional evaporation ponds are possible. What are your thoughts around the need for a strategic partner to fund the project? And if so, what characteristics would you look for in that partner?
First of all, our first milestone is the PEA. Second one, depending on the results of the PEA, we would like to see whether we want to go to the next stage, pre-feasibility, or go a bit farther on our own before we engage a partner. We believe that a reasonable partner should be somebody that got experience in operations. Um, uh, we know the difficulties to making the transition from exploration to production. It's not easy. Junior companies transforming into an operating company is not easy. The only example I know is Lithium Americas, and it was not done on isolation. It required the partnership with at the beginning with the SQM and then with the Ganfeng. Um, Producing lithium is not easy, and we see the results in many of the operations. So we believe that a partner should be somebody with experience in operations in lithium that add value to this transition from exploration to getting this project into production. Uh, Getting to the next stage, as you said regarding funding, um, we got warrants that expired in March, this March next year. 5 million that so far are in the money, the 20 cents. We believe that some of this money is gonna flow into the company. And some additional money may come of the 22 cents warrants. So we got some money that may come out of from a warrants exercise, besides some money that we may raise from the market if the sentiment changes in the next few months. So we got this flexibility to make the decision when is the right time to look for a partner.
Okay, great. And you've got 100% ownership interest in just under 80,000 hectares of your claims at Arizaro. This salar looks highly prospective. How much work have you done? And what you mentioned being open to a partner there would it be agnostic, or would you like a farm in or a JV partner? What are your thoughts there?
We are we are open there. Um, I would say that our ideal partnership there is an earning type of agreement, where it's somebody that is willing to invest into the project, so we can explore and as they explore and add value into a project, get more participation into a project. We believe that the Arizaro is got a lot of potential. As a matter of fact, Eramet is restarting exploration in Arizaro as we speak. So we believe of the potential of Arizaro. Um, why we are looking for a partner there? Because we got limited resources and we wanted to focus in Rio Grande. Arizaro is much larger than Rio Grande in terms of area. It's a lower grade than Rio Grande. Uh, may require drilling deeper than Rio Grande, so it may require additional more capital than Rio Grande. So that's why we wanted to share the risk with somebody else. Um, but we believe that it got a lot of potential in terms of it's a project that got a lot of potential. One example is lithium Chile that have been exploring significantly there. Again, Eramet that is exploring right now. But again, going back to your question, is any, I would say that is something that is the ideal in terms of win-win for both parties, but we are open for different approaches in Arizaro.
Okay, great. And then your last and final project at Salinas Grandes, also 100% owned by yourselves, but it's a bit smaller. I think you said 10,000 hectares, but it's also prospective. What's the latest update there?
Uh, Salinas is smaller. I we believe that is a project that got a lot of potential in terms of it's a project that, as I mentioned before, potentially got a high. It's a project of high concentration and potentially a very good chemistry, brine chemistry. Our idea is start its exploration once we got more development in Rio Grande. Potentially, if the market conditions improve later this year, we may start some small campaign in Salinas Grandes to start unlocking value in Salinas Grandes. Um, but we are confident that this may be a, a very good project. Again, a lot of very good infrastructure, good chemistry, good concentration. So, and it's very manageable.
And then a last question from me. Gabriel, the lithium market, while volatile, is still growing at 20% plus per year, the demand growth. And there is a consensus among some of the market, including ourselves, that demand is likely to exceed 3 million tons by the end of the decade, up from 1.2 million last year. So with that sort of speed and growth, we see a shortfall possibly in 27, but very likely by 2028. What are the chances that NOAA could have a project built and operating by that time frame?
I would say that our target is to next year, absolutely, 2026 is uh, going into a pre-feasibility or even a feasibility. If that is the case, hopefully uh, m- we may, hopefully we may have a decision to go ahead with the project in 2027. Um, that is going to be a big milestone, but it's going to be dependent on getting a partner or getting the funds for construction. Um, Definitely not project is not going to be built by 2027, 2028, but likely we may start by during that time frame. And this is going to be a big milestone. It's going to be around the corner. Production is going to be. It's going to take probably another 2 years.
Gabriel, just I guess one or two more just comments for me. But firstly, you're going to be at the Fast Markets
Yep.
event at the end of June. I think the 23rd to the 26th. Rodney and I will both be there. So any viewers of this channel, if you're going to be there and are interested in meeting with Gabriel, you could reach out to me at rockstockchannel@rkequity.com, and we can see about setting up a meeting, or if you want other information or a direct one-on-one meeting, ahead of that through Zoom. Also, I just want to reiterate, we said in the beginning, you have Clean Elements wrote a $13.5 million check. I mean, unlike a number of companies, I mean, you're still running a very lean team. How many employees do you have? What's your burn rate, Gabriel?
Our burn rate is very low. Besides this water campaign that we are doing, we are fully funded for 2025 until early 2026. So we are very, very conservative in terms of how we are managing the resources. And again, we are trying to manage the money as it is our money, which it is our money, and by the way. So we don't expect to be needing more money during 2025, even though we may raise additional money if it is available, but we don't expect that.
I think I've met your whole team, I think, during PDAC, which was just like 5 people. Yeah, and of course, you've hired some consultants like Hatch and others working on the
Yeah.
PEA, but
On that side, I mean, the geology team and the people that we got in Salta, it's approximately 20 people more. It's a very lean company, I would say.
right. So it's just important for all investments, especially through down cycles. Equity dilution is always a concern, but as we said in our prior video, through Clean Elements investment, not only of cash, but also the warrants attached to that, which are very substantially in the money, combined with Salinas Grandes and Arizaro, which you could monetize
Mhm.
in some way to fund, the flagship project, Rio Grande. My point is largely, and you made it, for investors interested in the company, there's not like a capital raise,
Yep.
every couple of months, like some of your peers. And, if you're interested in the story, you just have to buy it in the open market. And I think that is what's differentiating your stock. There's very few ways to play Argentine brines, given so many of them have been acquired, as we've said earlier. So I think a lot of that is the reason why the stock has kind of like slowly ticked up over the course of this year, while lithium prices have been, sideways to down, and most lithium equities are down year to date. So congratulations on, I guess doing well from that perspective. Look forward very much to the PEA. And for all of our viewers, again, if you're interested in meeting Gabriel, this story is still relatively new. As Gabriel said, he invested and his partners largely funded this company themselves last year until finding a contrarian, I've gotten to know over investor in the Middle East, who's a breath of fresh air in the sea of negativity I'm finding in kind of North America and Australia and elsewhere. The Middle East is a place for optimism, and I think with a 3 to 5 year view, um, and maybe even sooner than that, we'll get some clarity. Again, I wrote in my lithium bull this week, so it's fresh in my mind. In a few weeks' time, few months' time, maybe there'll be some grand bargain with China. We'll get some more clarity on the tariffs. And just like COVID looked really bleak 5 years ago at this time, by the summer, late summer, September, the start of the massive lithium bull run of 2021, 2022, had begun. So fingers crossed, we'll be talking that way later this year, Gabriel. But in the
Yeah.
meantime, thank you for this May
Thank
6th
you.
interview, and look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas next month.